Hello and welcome to the Mum Boss Method podcast. I'm Chrissy and you are joining me for a post-Easter Mum Boss at Home community check-in. This is where I go through all of check-ins from my Mum Boss at Home community ladies, answer their questions, celebrate their wins and help them to get amazing results. So let's start with the wins. Claire maintained consistency with food and exercise. She is 1 pound down on the scales, but she's definitely feeling much stronger. That's amazing. Well done, Claire. Tish saw some great progress in her photos and losing inches. Well done, Tish. Sarah didn't eat her children's Easter eggs. Well done. Helen did a 30-minute at-home workout and loved it. She feels like she's got some of her energy back. Jamie ran on Sunday and only really walked twice, which was amazing. She did amazingly. She came out to our running club. That was amazing. She got 17,000 steps on Sunday, or over 17,000 steps. Sophie logged everything but one meal and saw the scales drop by 4 pounds. So Sophie's new to the community. Well done, Sophie. That's amazing. Emma absolutely smashed it in the gym twice this week. She would have gone again if schedules were aligned, a bit like the stars. The stars weren't aligned, but she smashed it the 2 days she did go. Well done. Tracy met steps most days. Lisa, although she felt tired, she didn't use this as a reason or an excuse to eat rubbish. Jackie didn't feel hunger because she was focusing on her nutrition, and that is amazing. So let's move into challenges and questions then. So I'm seeing lots more evidence where the ladies are making conscious choices. So one of the ladies here had some alcohol twice this week, and then she was really pleased that she chose to drive to 3 other functions so that she didn't drink. Now, one of the things we talk about in any of the work that you do with me, whether it's in the Last Diet Club, whether it's here in the at-home community, is nothing is banned. We don't ban things, okay? So, sorry, I'm putting my lip balm on, so I've just realised how crusty I am. And that includes alcohol. So we don't ban anything unless it's, you're allergic to it. I don't want you to do those things. But, that if this lady had drunk on all of the occasions this week that she had the opportunity to, that would have been 5 days of drinking. Now, that might not have been 5 days of drinking a bottle of wine each day, but it is not healthful. It's not good for our health to be drinking 5 times in a week. That's just the facts of it. So this is amazing that this client is able to make those choices and still went to the functions. I hope still enjoyed herself, but drove to 3 of them so that she didn't drink. Okay. Couple of examples here where a lack of planning meant that the meals felt a lot trickier. So I found organisation of meals tricky this week. Without the planning, it all fell apart. I still made healthy choices and tried my best, but it definitely showed me how much I rely on my planning and meal prepping. I'll be getting back to it this week. So for anyone who has gone into a week thinking, oh, it's a crazy week, I'll just wing it, or it's been too busy over the weekend, I haven't planned my meals, I'll just wing it. You often find when you get into that routine of planning and doing as much prep, and when I say prep, I don't mean Tupperware after Tupperware of chicken, broccoli and rice, but just getting a bit organised. When you do a week where you haven't been organised and prepped, you will realise just how much easier it makes your life, not just weight loss, but in terms of not having to make those decisions about what's dinner tonight, what do I need to cook, what time do I need to cook it, when does it have to be ready for? Especially when you are busy, you have other plans, you have other things to do. So as much as people roll their eyes at me when I talk about prepping and planning, honestly, when you make it a habit and then you don't do it, you realize how much easier it makes your life. So the question I want to ask anyone that didn't do prep or planning, or has maybe thought, oh, I'll just wing it, what is it that's stopping you? Is it because you've just been really busy and you didn't get round to it? Is it because you couldn't be bothered? Always remember how much easier it makes your life in general, but then also how much it makes your it makes it easier for you to achieve your goals. Okay. Okay, carrying on. Let's have a look. So someone here, I found it difficult to stick to the calories and still manage to eat 100 grams of protein. I found I was just eating when not particularly hungry just to try and up my protein amounts. And their question is, I know the ideal is to hit the protein goal within the calorie amount, but if I'm struggling to do this, is it better to eat more and reach the protein goal, even if it takes me over my calorie limit, or just try and get in as much as possible within my calorie limit? Okay, so the first thing to say is this person is vegan most of the time, so they try to be as vegan as possible as often as possible. Now, just having a really quick look at this person's food diary, like an overall view of their food diary, for the last week they've averaged about 70 grams of protein. Okay, and saying, now bearing in mind one day wasn't tracked, but saying they've gone over their calorie target in order to hit the protein goal. So you've only gone over your calorie target most of the time by about 50 calories to get to those 70 grams of protein. Now, some of this will just be a few tweaks that you need to make to your food in order to get up that protein. It is harder to get your protein up to 100 grams on a vegan diet. We have another vegan in the group who we try and get to about 80 grams. Now, when I was eating a vegan diet, I was managing to get to 100, 120 grams a day, but I had to rely on a lot of meat replacements and very processed meat replacements in order to do that. I ate tofu every single day, sometimes twice a day, and that was actually one of the reasons I stopped eating a vegan diet, because I realized that me and tofu just don't get on. So you are able to get there, but it is more difficult, particularly if you don't want to be eating loads and loads of overly processed meat replacements on your vegan diet. The most important thing for fat loss is calories. Okay. Everyone who works with me for fat loss is in roughly about a 500 calorie deficit. Okay. So what this means is, if you're going over your calories on a day by 50 calories or 100 calories, you are still in a calorie deficit. It's just that your calorie deficit won't be as big. So if hitting your top range of calories, but maybe only 70 to 80 grams of protein, is leaving you still getting results and not feeling hungry, then that's fine. If hitting 70 to 80 grams of protein, you're still feeling hungry, then we need to look at how we can tweak your food a little bit. Okay. It's only your first week. You've made great progress in this first week. So let's carry on, stick with what you're doing for the second week, and then let's see how your hunger levels are for the second week. But this is for everyone. Even if you go over your calorie target by 100, 200, 300 calories, even 500 calories on one day, you are in roughly a 500 calorie deficit every single day. And so as long as that's only one day, you're not doing the wrong thing. This person has made progress this week, so that's fine. But it's about managing your hunger, which is a bit more difficult on a vegan diet. So calories are king. They're the most important thing. Protein is second. if you're hitting calories, you're fine with calories, but you're still hungry, we might need to look at tweaking this a bit. Okay. Yeah, I've already mentioned a couple of instances of people like not planning, but it's fine. Okay, so what else have we got in terms of excuses or questions or challenges? Right, this is a good one to talk about. So despite losing centimeters on my chest, my waist and my hips, therefore you are losing body fat, I've gone up 1 centimeter on my arms. I worry this will affect clothes fitting me, especially blazers when I'm back at work. How can I get my arms thinner? I worry that lifting all the weights are making my arms disproportionately bigger. Okay, ladies, this is for everyone. Firstly, yes, I love that you are measuring. That's really, really important. However, it is still really easy to mismeasure, especially some like on your arms, on your biceps. Even if you've got someone helping you, you could be measuring in slightly a different place. Okay, so it's likely that this is a mismeasure, particularly as your other progress measures are going down. Secondly, it is super, super hard for women to gain muscle that quickly. So it is really unlikely your arms have grown 1 centimetre because of muscle growth, okay? We don't put on muscle that quickly. So that's the second thing. The third thing is related to how can I get my arms thinner? This is effectively asking the question, how can I spot reduce fat? And we can't spot reduce fat. We cannot tell our body where to take the fat from. It will take the fat from where it wants to take the fat from first. And often those are the places that it takes it from last are the places that we call our troublesome areas, or they're our least favorite areas. So I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. My troublesome area is always my thighs and my bottom. That is where the fat comes from last. Where does it come from first? My collarbone, my chest. You know, I've talked about this before. I do not have boobs. And I used to have boobs, and since weightlifting, I don't have many boobs anymore. And that's where any fat comes from my body first, is my collarbone and my chest. And we cannot tell our body where to put the fat on and where to put the fat off. So by worrying about your arms, that's not going to help you. I don't want you to just stop exercising your arms, because that's not going to help either. Remain in your calorie deficit, remain consistent, remain doing your workouts, and I promise you that the fat will start to come off of your arms. It just could be that that's the place it comes off a bit slower. And, you know, try your blazers on. Get one of those blazers out. Try it on now. You're not going back to work for a couple of months. Try it on now. Try it on at the end of the month. And I promise you, if you remain consistent, then the results will show. So we can't spot reduce fat, okay? There are lots of people saying that, you know, they've eaten Easter eggs this weekend, that they feel like it was all going really well until the Easter eggs came out. Ladies, we've all eaten Easter eggs. And if we haven't, that's lovely too. Don't worry about it. Draw a line under it. You do not need to try and get rid of all the Easter eggs today. You do not need to just eat them all, draw a line under it and start again tomorrow. How about you see how long those Easter eggs can last? How about you allow yourself a bit of those Easter eggs every day until they are finished? Let's not lose our head over a couple of days of eating Easter eggs, okay? Okay, I've not been strict with my snacking. I've been busy and lacked energy to motivate myself. I would say this has been, so this person particularly enjoys a snack. I know that. Lacked energy to motivate yourself. I don't know whether that's an accurate statement. I feel like this because this person is quite motivated, but loves a snack. So it's not about being strict with your snacking. When I've looked at your food diary in the past, there's often not enough protein in there. The meals aren't big enough, and therefore there is a lot more room to snack. One of the things I'm going to recommend to people is about managing your environment, okay? So I don't want you to ban yourself from having the things you enjoy in the house forevermore, just like I don't want you to be tracking forevermore. But there's some merit to be said around, like, if, for example, I've got an Easter egg downstairs that Tom bought me. It's not very nice. He admits it's not very nice, and he got me a replacement one. Do you think that stopped me breaking off bits of that Easter egg and eating it? No, it's chocolate, but it's not very nice. So I'm going to manage my environment. I am actually going to chuck that Easter egg away today because I'm not enjoying it. It's just a waste. What are you snacking on? Where are those snacks? Are they at work? Are they in your cupboards? Are they really easy for you to access? So how can you manage your environment and remove them? I'm not saying ban yourself from them. Allow yourself a bit of what you fancy every day, but stop making those snacks so easy for you to get hold of. Okay, you're testing your willpower when you don't need to. Just remove the snacks, put them somewhere else, hide them in a cupboard, plan them in and enjoy them. Okay, I feel like I'm in a rut with my gym workouts. Any advice on how I can start measuring progress and challenging myself with weights, more reps or heavier weights? I want to know I'm pushing myself and getting stronger. So if you have asked me, you have all been given gym workouts in Everfit, right? In the app. So if you've told me I've got a gym membership and I want to start using the gym workouts, then I've put them in your Everfit. And so if you are struggling with those gym workouts or you're not using them, please message me and I can help you. I always say, if you want to challenge yourself with weights, you need to be, that was Henry making a groan, you need to be pushing yourself to lift heavier weights with good form until failure. Okay, so for example, if you are doing shoulder presses with 8 kilograms and I've programmed you to do 12, and you're just doing 12 and you're doing 12 and it's fine, right, then I want you to pick up some 10 kilograms and see how many you can get with 10 kilograms, right? And say you'll only be able to get to 8. So then you are working towards getting back up to 10 to 12. And then when you can do 10 to 12, you will pick up the next heaviest weight, right? So especially when you're in the gym rather than at home, always be pushing yourself to be picking up heavier weights and trying to do those exercises with the heavier weights. Now, often what I see is people saying, well, I can do 12 reps if I use an 8 kilogram and I can only do 6 if I use a 10 kilogram. So I'm sticking with 8 because mentally it makes me feel like I've achieved more if I do the 12. No, we want to get to progressive overload. We want you to be getting stronger, pick up the heavier weight, and you will soon build up to being able to get to 10 to 12 again. So for this person, are you doing the gym workouts that I've set you in Everfit? And are you pushing yourself to pick up heavier weights? That's what I want you to do, is to pick up heavier weights. Don't worry about higher reps are for when you're at home and you don't have a massive weight selection. I want you picking up heavier weights in the gym. Okay, so this question, what's the best thing to order if you've not planned ahead and there's only really cafe food? So I'm not sure with this question whether this person was out at a cafe, because they've then gone on to say chicken goujons, pizza, sandwiches or paninis. It does sound like they were out at a cafe. There were smoothies too, but they didn't have any protein, and there was nothing like a side salad, jacket potato or grilled chicken, and nothing had calories written on it either. I had a banana and an apple and some pom bears and ate properly when I got home. Okay, so firstly, if you've not planned ahead, try to plan ahead. Some people really love looking at the menus of somewhere before they go. Other people just think that's really boring. My personal preference is that you have a look. If you're going out somewhere, have a look. The best thing to do is to pick the highest protein option, because you're likely otherwise to eat twice. So okay, you only ate an apple, a banana and some pom bears, and then you ate properly when you got home. And there are worse choices you could make. So it's hard for me to say, without looking at a menu, what is the best option you could have picked. But always try to go for the option with the highest amount of protein and something with fruit or vegetables. Now, this didn't sound like it had much vegetable options in it. So something like a sandwich or a panini with a couple of pieces of fruit on the side would have been a great suggestion there. In these situations, ladies, this is for everyone. And this, if you're listening to this and you're not part of the at-home community, these are the types of things that we do. If you are going out for lunch or for dinner and you have access to the menu and you want help with what to pick, put a picture of the menu in the WhatsApp group and I will help you choose what to go with when you get for that meal. Okay. Good. Well done. We have covered the protein. My best advice for fully enjoying a holiday without getting in the way of your goals. So set some non-negotiables. If you're going away this week, set some non-negotiables. And this person has said they're smashing their steps while they're on holiday. It's going to be super easy for them to do. So what can you control on that holiday? Is it that you'll be making your own breakfast every day? Great. That's a good one. What are you've set your non-negotiables of walking every day, but you'll probably be eating out for lunch and dinner. Okay, so where can you apply some structure? For me personally, I always look at what's the meal every day that is going to be like the biggest, most enjoyable meal. When we go away in France, in the summer, we typically will have a couple of days where we go out and lunch is quite a big deal, and then the rest of the time dinner is quite a big deal. So on those days where lunch is quite a big deal, that's my indulgent meal because I know I might just snack later. But the rest of the time, I know dinner is going to be the indulgent meal. So I'll tend to have a pretty standard breakfast, a pretty standard lunch, and then have a bit more flexibility with dinner. Now, you're going away with quite young children, so I don't know what way this will be around for you, but try to apply some structure for at least 2 of your meals. The other thing I would say is, remember, you have unconditional permission to eat. Okay, you are allowed to enjoy your holiday. That's not a problem. So if you want an ice cream, have an ice cream. If you want, a glass of wine, I don't actually think you drink, but if you want a glass of wine, have a glass of wine. But do we need to be having in one day 3 massive meals, 2 ice creams and 4 glasses of wine and a big share bag of crisps? No, probably not. So it's about choosing your indulgences. Have they got an ice cream there that you really, really want? No. So would you just be buying one just for the sake of it because the kids are having one? So picking your indulgences, trying to apply some structure and always trying to go for the highest protein option. If you're abroad, I know this person isn't, but if you're going abroad, make sure you stay hydrated. And don't forget that you're doing this to enjoy it as well. We work hard for our holidays. I don't want you to miss out on the fun, but also the fun isn't just about the food, right? The fun is about all of the other things as well. Okay, so one person here has said that they haven't tracked every day as they couldn't be bothered. This attitude doesn't help me get to my goals. No, it doesn't. Couldn't be bothered to take the few minutes it takes to track your food. or couldn't be bothered to hold yourself accountable because you knew you weren't making the choices that aligned with your goals. Either way, no, you're not going to get to your goals if you don't take responsibility and accountability for your actions. Now, you could have stayed within your calories for those days. I don't know, because I don't know what you ate. But I'd really examine this attitude and where that's coming from. Last question then is, I have booked weekly PT sessions starting on the 13th. Is there anything you would recommend to help with energy levels? Now, I've actually spoken to this person privately, but my advice is the same advice that I've been giving for the last couple of weeks. If you are tired, but you are not moving your body and you are putting rubbish into your body, you cannot expect to feel more energetic. Okay. If you're tired, move your body. If you're tired and you've got lack of energy, put good food into your body. If you put rubbish food in, you will feel tired. If you don't move, you will feel tired. Now, I've actually challenged this person and said to them that originally they said they were going to do these PT sessions and then 3 at-home workouts, meaning 4 workouts. But this person hasn't actually been doing anything for the last couple of weeks. So going from 0 to 4 is going to be painful. So I recommend you start with 2 or 3 this week and then maybe increase it by another 1 next week, because you're setting yourself up to fail. Okay, so prove to yourself you can do it. And remember, you'll probably be a bit sore afterwards. You're probably going to be a bit tired afterwards. But if you keep telling yourself you're too sore and too tired to move, then you're never going to feel better about it. So the thing that I recommend to help for energy levels is good food and moving your body. Okay, so not a very long one this week because a few people are away, so shorter check-in. I hope that was helpful. If you are going to... I lost my complete train of thought then. Oh my goodness. If you would like to know how to join the Mum Boss at Home community, check the show notes or come and find me on social media. I would love to help you. Have an awesome week, everyone, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.